much. Our second speaker of the evening is a writer for Wired, and he has a book coming out in next November called The Science of Battlestar Galactica. Please welcome Patrick DeGiusto.
You'll go after the yes men. You'll be fine. Don't worry about it. Well, my story is an analysis of a particular prank that I pulled in high school, and it was the day I gave my brother appendicitis. It's the time I convinced the entire Catholic high school that my brother had appendicitis. More precisely, the time I falsely convinced them that he had appendicitis while he was actually in school that day. Now, anytime you're going to pull a prank, you need to start off by knowing the people involved. Who are you aiming the prank at? Who's your subject? Who's your object? Who's the audience? All these sorts of things. For a prank in a Catholic high school, obviously, the subject, the victim, is the principal. In my case, this is Sister Agnes, a Catholic sister of charity, who was the principal of our high school. This is obviously a recreation, but she was just this mean. The object is my brother. He had absolutely no idea he was going to get appendicitis that day. I didn't tell him about it. He was the thing that was acted upon in this prank. Unfortunately, my brother's friend Mark played a small role in this. He was not planned. He was the innocent bystander. Who was the audience for this prank? As you might expect, as always, the audience in a Catholic high school prank are Catholic schoolgirls. We've all pulled pranks. Some people have done it for money, for revenge, for political reasons. You also, always, a little part of you does it to attract the appropriate sex. And of course, there's the actor, the protagonist, the person, the perpetrator. There's me. When you are going to pull a prank, you need to make this prank reasonable. I could stand here and say, oh my goodness, there's a UFO landed outside on Union Street, and in about 30 seconds I'll be proved wrong. That's not much of a prank. You need to have a prank that can happen, that can work. In this case, it was very simple. I wrote a note. I brought it into the office in the early morning before classes started, and I said, Sister, could you please read this during the morning? Sister Agnes looked at it, and this was heaven to her. Oh, of course we will read this. He's a very popular young man. I'm sure they'll pray for him. I said, thank you very much, sister. And I went back to my homeroom. Now, in a Catholic high school, and I'm sure in most high schools, very beginning of the day in your homeroom class, the principal comes on the PA system and reads out announcements of the day. Sports teams did this, various events going on around the parish. And in a Catholic high school, we end with the pray fors. Please pray for so-and-so's mother, so-and-so's uncle, whatever. And this is where the problem comes in. Because when you're doing a prank, as soon as you start the prank, it's out of your hands. The victim takes over your prank. And the problem is when the victim is more enthusiastic about it than you are. When you pull a prank and you tell the victim, great news, the victim might tell everyone else, fantastic news. When you tell the victim bad news, they might tell everyone else the worst news has happened. So Sister Agnes gets on the PA system and she says, please pray for sophomore Andy DeGiusto, my brother, who was stricken with appendicitis over the weekend, and who was rushed into emergency surgery, where he almost died, and was given the last rites of the church. He is now in critical condition in the intensive care unit. Please remember him in your prayers.